The final trailer does not feel like a preview anymore. It feels like a warning. Every shot, every silence, and every look tells us this story is ending in blood, loss, and choices that cannot be undone. This is not about winning. This is about who survives the truth when everything finally falls apart. The trailer for the series finale hits with a heavy and serious tone that feels different from anything we have seen before. From the very first second, the energy tells us this is not just another episode. This is the end of a long and violent road. The pacing is slower, but every moment feels more dangerous. Instead of fast action cuts, the trailer focuses on faces, silence, and tension. This choice is important because it shows that the finale is not just about gunfights. It is about consequences. Every character looks tired, stressed, and pushed to their limit. No one looks confident anymore. That alone tells us something big is coming. One of the strongest signs in the trailer is how quiet it feels. There are pauses between moments, and those pauses say more than words ever could. Silence in a trailer usually means death is close. It means decisions have already been made. The show is telling us that the end is locked in, and nothing can stop it now. The music builds slowly instead of exploding, which creates fear instead of excitement. This tells the audience that this finale is meant to hurt emotionally, not just shock us. The trailer also shows us that this ending is personal. We are not watching random violence. We are watching characters face the results of their own actions. Every look feels like a goodbye, even when no one says it out loud. The camera stays close to faces, showing fear, anger, and regret. This is important because it reminds us that this story has always been about people, not just power. The finale is setting up emotional damage that will stay with the audience long after it ends. Another key detail is how the trailer avoids showing clear outcomes. We do not see full deaths or final moments. Instead, we see reactions. This is a smart move because it builds fear. When a trailer hides answers, it means the truth is too heavy to show early. It forces the audience to imagine the worst, and that makes the finale feel even darker. The show wants us nervous, not excited. By the end of the trailer, one thing becomes clear. This episode is not designed to make fans feel safe or satisfied. It is designed to be honest. The tone tells us that no one is protected by plot armor anymore. The story is closing its doors, and it will not do it gently. This finale is about ending the lie that power keeps you safe. It never did, and now everyone has to pay that as the trailer continues. The feeling of finality becomes even stronger through its visual choices. The lighting is darker than usual, with shadows covering faces and locations that once felt familiar. This darkness is not just visual, it represents the emotional state of the story. The characters are no longer moving toward hope. They are moving toward an ending they cannot escape. Every scene feels like the calm before something terrible happens. The trailer also uses distance in a powerful way. Characters are often shown alone, even when surrounded by others. This tells us that trust is gone. Alliances no longer matter. When people stand together in the frame, they are separated by space or turned away from each other. This is visual storytelling at its best. It shows that the war is no longer just between groups. It is inside every character now. Another important detail is the lack of celebration or confidence. In earlier seasons, trailers often showed moments of control, power, or victory. This time, there is none of that. No one is smiling. No one looks proud. Everyone looks like they are bracing for impact. This tells us the finale is not about success. It is about survival, and even that is not guaranteed. The trailer also focuses heavily on reactions instead of actions. We see eyes widen, jaws tighten, and hands shake. These moments show fear and realization. It feels like characters finally understand what their choices have cost them. This emotional awareness is what makes the finale feel heavier than past episodes. It is not chaos without meaning. It is chaos with memory, guilt, and regret attached to it. One of the most unsettling elements is how the trailer avoids showing clear heroes or villains. Everyone looks dangerous. Everyone looks broken. This removes the comfort of rooting for a clear winner. Instead, the audience is forced to accept that this ending will not be clean. It will not be fair. It will reflect the messy reality of the world the show created. By the time this part of the trailer ends, the message is clear. The finale is not asking who will win, it is asking who will live with what they have done. And who will not live at all. This shift in focus changes everything and prepares the audience for an ending that is meant to hurt, not entertain. The emotional weight of the trailer grows stronger as it starts to feel more like a farewell than a setup. Many shots feel longer than usual, almost as if the show wants us to sit with the discomfort. These moments force the audience to reflect on the journey, not just the ending. It feels intentional. Like the story is reminding us of how far things have fallen since the beginning. The trailer also plays with expectations by showing familiar locations in unfamiliar ways. Places that once felt powerful now feel empty or threatening. This shows that control has slipped away. Territory no longer means safety. History no longer offers protection. The past is not helping anyone anymore, and that is a scary realization. For characters who built their lives on dominance, another powerful choice is how the trailer avoids fast dialogue. Words are limited, and when characters speak, their lines feel heavy and final. There is no trash talk, no confidence, and no planning out loud. This suggests that plans have already failed, or that plans no longer matter. What matters now is instinct, fear, and survival. The editing also creates a sense of inevitability. Scenes are placed in a way that feels like a countdown. Each moment builds towards something we cannot see, but we can feel. The trailer does not try to surprise us with loud moments. Instead, it quietly prepares us for loss. This makes the emotional impact stronger because the audience has time to accept what is coming, even if they do not want to. One of the most effective parts of the trailer is how it treats time. Everything feels slowed down, as if the world is holding its breath. This gives the feeling that once the finale begins, it will move fast and leave no room to process what is happening. The trailer is the last chance to breathe before the fall. By focusing on mid instead of action, the trailer makes it clear that this ending is about emotional damage. It is about broken relationships, missed chances, and the cost of staying in a violent life for too long. This is not a victory lap. It is a reckoning. As the trailer reaches its final moments, the sense of doom becomes impossible to ignore. The last shots are carefully chosen to leave the audience unsettled. There is no release of tension, no hopeful image to balance the darkness. Instead, the trailer ends the same way it begins, with fear and uncertainty. This choice is intentional. It tells us the finale will not offer easy answers or comfort. The final images feel like goodbyes. Even when they are silent, characters look like they are seeing things clearly for the first time. And that clarity comes too late. This is one of the most painful ideas in the trailer. Understanding arrives only when there is no time left to change anything. That truth makes the ending feel tragic rather than shocking. The trailer also avoids showing any future beyond this episode. There are no hints of rebuilding, escape, or fresh starts. Everything feels locked into the present moment. This reinforces the idea that this story is closing completely. What happens here is final. There is no next move, only consequences. Another key detail is how the trailer leaves emotional space for the audience. It does not overload with information. Instead, it lets viewers project their own fears and theories into the gaps. This makes the experience personal. Everyone watching will imagine a different ending, and that makes the actual finale more powerful. By ending on tension instead of action, the trailer shows respect for the story and its audience. It trusts viewers to understand the weight of what is coming without being told directly. This restraint is what makes the finale feel mature and serious. In the end, this trailer is not selling excitement. It is preparing us for loss. It is reminding us that this world has always punished those who refuse to walk away. The finale is not about becoming stronger. It is about facing the truth. And the truth, as this trailer makes clear, is going to hurt. The trailer slowly reveals that Tommy is no longer in survival mode. This time, he is standing his ground. And that shift changes everything. In earlier seasons, Tommy was reacting to danger, moving fast, and escaping trouble before it closed in. In this trailer, his body language is different. He looks calm, but not at peace. His calm feels heavy, like a man who has already accepted the outcome. That tells us Tommy is not planning to run anymore. He is preparing to finish something he started the moment he stepped into Chicago. One of the strongest signals comes from how Tommy is framed in the shots. He is often shown standing still while chaos moves around him. This visual choice suggests control, but not comfort. It feels like he has reached the point where fear no longer guides his actions. When a character stops fearing death, they become the most dangerous version of themselves. The trailer makes it clear that Tommy knows. Chicago no longer looks like a temporary stop for Tommy. The city feels like a final battleground. The trailer shows familiar streets and locations, but they feel colder and more hostile. This reflects Tommy's mindset. He is no longer trying to blend in or build quietly. He is facing the city head-on. This suggests that whatever move he makes next will affect everyone around him, not just his enemies. The war is no longer hidden. It is out in the open. Another important detail is how isolated Tommy appears, even when other characters are nearby. There is a sense that he is alone in his decisions. This isolation shows that Tommy understands no one can walk this path with him. Allies may exist, but the burden is his alone. This makes his arc in the finale feel tragic. Power has cost him connection, and now all he has left is control and consequence. The trailer also hints that Tommy's final move will be direct and unforgiving. There is no sign of long-term planning or negotiation. Everything feels immediate, like time is running out. This urgency suggests that Tommy knows the window is closing. Whatever he does in this episode is meant to end the conflict completely, even if it destroys him in the process. That kind of decision only comes when a character believes there is nothing left to protect. What makes this version of Tommy so compelling is that he is not chasing power for growth. He already understands what power costs. Instead, he is chasing closure. The trailer shows a man who wants control, not to rule, but to end the chaos around him. That motivation is dangerous because it removes hesitation. When the goal is an ending instead of a future, anything becomes acceptable. The emotional weight of this arc is heavy because it feels earned. The trailer reminds us, without showing flashbacks, that Tommy has lost too much to turn back now. Every stare, every pause, every breath feels loaded with history. This is not rage without reason. It is rage shaped by years of violence, betrayal, and survival. The finale is positioning Tommy as a man who knows exactly what he is doing, even if it leads to his own downfall. By focusing on Tommy's stillness instead of action, the trailer makes his final war feel more terrifying. Loud characters are predictable, quiet ones are not. This silence suggests that when Tommy finally moves, it will be fast, final, and impossible to stop. The episode is not building toward chaos. It is building toward impact. And once that impact hits, there will be no undoing it. In the end, this section of the trailer tells us one clear truth. Tommy is done adapting. He is done escaping. He is done surviving. In this finale, he is choosing to decide how it ends, no matter the cost. The trailer makes it clear that the Flynn family is no longer a united force. What once looked like a strong empire now feels cracked from the inside. Every scene involving Claudia and Vic carries tension, not confidence. Their expressions are sharp, guarded, and full of doubt. This tells us that the real danger for the Flynns is no longer coming from outside enemies. It is coming from each other. The trailer shows a family that has reached the point where loyalty is fragile and survival matters more than blood. Claudia's presence in the trailer feels heavier than before. She does not look like someone building an empire anymore. She looks like someone fighting to keep control as everything slips away. Her ambition, which once made her dangerous, now feels like a weakness. The trailer frames her in moments where she seems cornered, surrounded by pressure and consequences. This suggests that her past choices are finally catching up to her. Power taken too fast and held too tightly always demands payment, and Claudia looks like she is about to pay that price. Vic's situation feels even more unstable. The trailer shows him stuck between fear and responsibility. He does not look like a man who believes in the future of his family anymore. Instead, he looks like someone trapped by it. His body language suggests hesitation and hesitation in this world is deadly. Vic appears to be questioning every move, every order, and every alliance. That doubt signals a breaking point when a character starts doubting the system they were raised in. It usually means betrayal or sacrifice is close. What makes this arc so powerful is that the trailer does not show loud arguments or dramatic confrontations. Instead, it shows distance. Claudia and Vic are rarely shown together in moments of unity. When they share the frame, there is tension instead of trust. This visual separation tells us more than words ever could. The family bond that once held them together is gone. What remains is fear, resentment, and unfinished business. The trailer also hints that the Flynn downfall will not come from a single mistake. It will come from a series of small cracks that finally break everything apart. Years of ambition, pride, and poor decisions have weakened the foundation. Now, one push is all it takes. The finale feels like the moment when those cracks finally give way and the entire structure collapses. Another important detail is how alone each Flynn feels. Claudia stands like a leader with no followers. Vic looks like a soldier without a cause. This isolation shows that the family no longer functions as a unit in a world built on loyalty. Isolation is a death sentence. The trailer makes it clear that whatever happens next, the Flynns will face it divided, and division always leads to loss. There is also a strong sense of inevitability around their story. The trailer does not suggest escape or redemption. It suggests reckoning. Every look and pause feels like the calm before something irreversible. The show is telling us that the Flynn era is ending. Not with glory, but with consequences. Their story is no longer about control. It is about collapse. By the end of these moments, the audience understands one painful truth. The Flynn family is not being destroyed by enemies who hate them. They are being destroyed by the choices they made. When they thought they were untouchable, the finale is not asking whether the Flynns will survive. It is asking how much damage they will cause before they fall. The trailer shifts into a more emotional and personal space when it focuses on Miguel and Myra. Their story no longer feels like a side plot. It feels like the heart of the danger. Miguel is no longer shown as a confident power player. He looks trapped, surrounded by threats coming from every direction. His face carries tension and fear, not control. This tells us that his position in the game has changed. He is no longer making moves freely. He is reacting, and reaction is a sign of weakness in this world. Miguel's scenes in the trailer suggest that he has run out of safe options. Every choice in front of him leads to loss. His posture is tense, and his eyes show stress rather than strategy. This signals that the pressure has reached a breaking point. Power once gave him protection, but now it has painted a target on his back. The trailer makes it clear that his rise has come with a cost he can no longer manage. When a character reaches this stage, the end is usually violent. Myra's role adds emotional weight to this situation. She is not shown as a background figure. The trailer gives her space, making her reactions important. Her fear feels real and personal. She is not worried about power or territory. She is worried about survival. This difference in priorities creates tension between her and Miguel. Where he is still tied to the life, she feels like someone who understands the danger clearly. That gap in understanding often leads to tragedy. The trailer hints that Miguel's love for Myria may be his greatest weakness. In a world where emotion is used against people, caring deeply puts you at risk. His attempts to protect her feel desperate, not confident. That desperation suggests he knows he cannot control the outcome anymore. When protection turns into fear, it usually means the situation is already lost. The show is telling us that Miguel's heart may lead him into his final mistake. Another powerful element is how the trailer frames Miguel as a man running out of time. His scenes feel rushed, as if events are closing in on him. There is no calm planning, no sense of long-term vision. Everything feels urgent. This creates the feeling that Miguel is being pushed toward a confrontation he cannot avoid. Whether he wants peace or power, the path leads to the same place. The emotional cost of this storyline is what makes it stand out. This is not just business conflict. This is about fear, love, and regret. The trailer shows us that Miguel may finally understand the damage his choices have caused, but understanding comes too late. Regret in this world does not save anyone. It only makes the ending more painful. Myria's presence also raises the stakes because she represents a life outside the violence. Her fear reflects what a normal person sees when looking at this world through her. The audience is reminded how dangerous and unforgiving this life really is. The trailer uses her reactions to ground the story emotionally, making Miguel's potential fall feel tragic rather than deserved. By focusing on emotion instead of action, the trailer signals that Miguel's story will end in loss no matter the outcome. Even if he survives, he will lose something that matters deeply to him. That is the true punishment in this world. Power takes more than it gives, and Miguel is finally facing that truth. In the end, this part of the trailer prepares us for a deeply emotional conclusion. Miguel's story is no longer about winning or ruling. It is about facing the damage he caused and the people he put in danger. The finale is setting him up not as a villain to defeat, but as a man about to be crushed by the weight of his own choices.